Remember to like and subscribe. Today, we're diving into something that can totally transform your game on the court. Getting those open shots.
Yeah.
You send in a guide called 9 Ways to Get More Open Shots in a Game.
Yeah.
And it's got me thinking about, you know, those moments where you find yourself with just enough space to sink that perfect shot.
That's the dream, right?
It is.
And this guide is really cool because it goes beyond just the, mechanics of shooting.
Right.
It really gets into the strategy behind creating those opportunities.
Exactly.
Which is something any basketball fan can appreciate, whether you're playing or just watching the game.
Absolutely. Now, the guide does mention practice.
Of course.
Which, of course, is important.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Right.
We all want to know those secret tips that can give us an edge on the court.
Sure.
What else jumped out at you?
Well, what really struck me was the emphasis on movement.
Okay.
Specifically, tips number 1 and 2. They talk about sprinting in transition and making decisive cuts to the basket.
Okay.
It sounds simple, but think about it.
Yeah.
If you're constantly moving,
Right.
you're making the defender work harder. And that can create just enough space for a shot.
It's like they always say, don't stand still. But I guess the key here is how you move.
Right.
What's the difference between just running around and actually creating an opening?
That's where tip number 3 comes in, finding open space.
Okay.
It's about understanding the flow of the game,
Right.
knowing where your teammates are, and anticipating where the defense is going to shift. A great player doesn't just run.
Yeah.
They run with purpose.
So it's like a chess game almost.
Yes.
Where every move you make has consequences on the rest of the board.
Exactly. And the guide even uses the term floor general to describe a player who can orchestrate the offense.
Interesting.
This player isn't necessarily the top scorer. They're the one who sees the whole court, directs traffic, and sets everyone else up for success.
Okay, so we've got movement, we've got spacing.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it than that, right?
Sure.
What about those little things? Those almost invisible cues that can make a difference?
You're talking about nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
And that's where tips number 4 and 5 come into play.
Okay.
Having your hands ready to catch the ball, being in a shot-ready position.
Right.
Those subtle signals can speed up the game and catch the defense off guard.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's like if you're playing catch with a friend and they're not paying attention,
right,
chances are the ball's going to end up on the ground.
Yep.
But if they're focused and their hands are up, you can just zip that pass right to them.
Precisely. It's all about being prepared and making those split-second decisions that can give you an advantage. And speaking of creating an advantage, let's talk about screens.
Okay.
Tips number 6 and 7 in the guide. Now, screens are often associated with,
right,
big guys setting picks for smaller players.
Sure.
But there's a lot more to it than just size and strength.
Yeah, when I think of screens, I think of Steph Curry, a player known for his incredible shooting.
Yeah.
But he's also a master at setting screens for his teammates.
Right.
It's like he understands that creating space for others ultimately benefits the whole team.
Absolutely. And the guide emphasizes the importance of timing and technique. Setting a good screen is about being in the right position, holding your ground,
right,
and making contact with the defender at the right moment.
It's like a dance almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to be in sync with your teammate, anticipate their movement,
right,
and make sure you're not getting called for a foul.
Exactly. And on the flip side, the player using the screen needs to read the defender,
right,
time their cut, and be ready to catch the ball and make a play.
So there's a lot of communication going on, both verbal and nonverbal, to make this all work seamlessly.
You're right. And sometimes even the best laid plans can go awry. That's where tip number 8 comes in, ball fakes. This is a technique that can really throw off a defender and create that extra bit of space you need to get your shot off.
I love a good ball fake.
Me too.
It's like that moment in a cartoon where a character runs off a cliff but stays suspended in the air for a second before falling.
I know exactly what you mean.
The defender takes the bait jumps,
right,
and suddenly you've got a clear path.
It's all about deception and timing.
Yeah.
A well-executed ball fake can make the defender hesitate just long enough for you to either drive to the basket or pull up for a jumper.
So we've gone through 8 of the 9 tips from this guide, and I'm already feeling like I've leveled up my basketball IQ.
That's great to hear.
But before we reveal that last tip,
I
have to ask, what's the big takeaway here? What does it all really mean? for someone who wants to improve their game?
I think the key is understanding that getting open shots isn't just about individual skill.
Right.
It's about teamwork strategy and a deep understanding of the game.
Yeah.
These tips, when applied together, create a system for success.
It's like they say the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly. And that brings us to tip number 9, which might seem obvious, but is often overlooked. Practice.
Oh, practice.
Yeah.
You can have all the knowledge in the world.
Right.
But if you don't practice, you're not going to see results on the court.
Absolutely.
It's about translating theory into action.
And practice isn't just about shooting hoops.
Right.
It's about practicing those cuts, those screens, those ball fakes.
Yeah.
It's about developing that court awareness and building chemistry with your teammates.
So next time you're watching a game, whether it's on TV or at your local park, pay attention to these 9 elements.
Yeah.
You'll start to see those patterns, those strategies playing out in real time.
It's like having a secret decoder ring, unlocking a deeper understanding of the game.
Absolutely. And remember to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the worlds you're passionate about. We'll see you on the next one.